Here we go, Christmas now, a week and a half away. How can you make the holidays easier? Well, you can make your meal a bit ahead of time. Lee Clayton-Roper back with us this morning from a well-seasoned kitchen. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming in.
Sure.
So this smells great. You're going to be making a Boeuf Bourguignon. And the reason I say it is just because I thought that was cool. But you say this is something you can make it at least a day ahead and have ready to go and take some of the stress out of Christmas Day.
That's right. That's right. Actually, in our cookbook that I wrote together with my mom, A Well-Seasoned Kitchen, the vast majority of the recipes have some make-ahead component to them. So you can be very stress-free and entertained. I love this meal. Actually, there's a whole menu I do along with it because you can make almost all of it ahead and kind of spread it out, have some friends over for a wonderful meal and not be stressing while you're running errands and wrapping presents.
Not that cooking isn't enjoyable, but you could maybe enjoy more of your Christmas with your family than be slaving away in the kitchen and putting everything together.
Exactly.
Well, let's get started. Okay. We have a few things going here. Why don't you tell us what we're doing?
Okay, the first thing you do to make this recipe, I actually already did, just for time saving this morning, and that is I browned some beef stew meat in some oil in this pan, and then I took it out with a slotted spoon, and then I cooked onion, celery, and carrot in the juices from the meat. And you cook it until it's soft, and then the juices from the meat have all evaporated. So you kind of get the flavor of the juice from the meat into the vegetables. And then if you want to take that and put that in there, all of it.
So we add the meat back into the pan from whence it came?
Back in and any extra juices that came out.
Okay.
And then you take a really good red Burgundy wine. And
the quality of the wine does matter because some cooking, you could just use any red.
Right. I think in this one it does. You're going to cook this for about 2.5 to 3 hours. And so what happens is the alcohol cooks out, and what you're really left with that's flavoring the meat and those vegetables is the taste of the wine.
And what did you just add there? You added a little seasoning.
Sorry, I added a little bouquet garni.
Okay.
And one of the things, if you don't want to have to spend the money to get a really expensive French Burgundy, good red French Burgundy wine uses a Pinot Noir grape.
Just so you know, as far as my level of wines and class, that's the first time I've ever seen wine poured out of something that didn't have a paper bag around it. So that's very interesting. So as far as cooking this, how long do you have to cook this to cook it down a little bit as far as the wine itself and everything, or do you want the wine to remain in its full body?
You want to cook it about 2.5 to 3 hours because you really want the wine and the bouquet garni to infuse through the vegetables and the meat.
Just under a boil, something in a low medium? Low simmer,
yeah,
okay.
Low simmer. The longer you cook it, the lower I kind of simmer it because then you can always increase it at the end.
Right.
But that way you don't dry out the meat. So that's what you do. And this, up until this point, till the you're at the 2.5 and 3 hours, you can then stop. Bring it to room temperature and then put it in the refrigerator.
Okay, so it needs to sit for a while in the fridge. And then you have the mushrooms going?
Then, okay, now it's the next day. People are coming over tonight, so I have reheated. Okay, pretend that is now
out of the fridge and into the pot.
And so it's now reheated. And once it's reheated, then you take it, you cook some mushrooms in a mixture of oil and butter.
Beautiful.
And you mix those in.
And that's a 5-minute project, getting those mushrooms brown and cooked up. And what else are we adding?
This is a paste of butter and flour, because that's just going to make it really nice, that sauce really nice and thick. And the butter adds a little bit more flavor. And so you just stir that in and then heat it up until the sauce thickens. The mushrooms get heated through.
And more or less, voila, you're done with what took hours, takes minutes on Christmas Day.
Exactly, exactly. And we like to serve this with mashed potatoes. So I usually make those a couple days ahead and then simply reheat them. I have some here. So you get to taste this with the mashed potatoes.
Oh, that's one thing I'm good at. I may not be a great cook, but I'm a terrific eater.
So, and then I like, in the cookbook, we talk about garnishing it with fresh parsley. But the other thing I like to do that I'm not sure that many people know is on celery, these leaves up here, I think most people just cut them off and throw them away. They're actually a really wonderful garnish.
Oh, okay.
And they add really delicious flavor. You can chop them up and throw them in a salad or anything that you might want celery or a little bit of a light celery seed flavor to. So because the celery's in this dish, it's nice to kind of take that and then add it on the top as a garnish.
Well, it's in the cookbook, but it's also on our website, so you can log on to KWGN.com and pick up this Boeuf Bourguignon recipe and a time saver as well. Lee Clayton-Roper from A Well-Seasoned Kitchen. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Thank you.
Thanks for making our studio smell so good.
Okay, you have to try it now.
Oh, believe me, we will.